State of the Game by Steve Superville, their creative director for Paragon. I believe that's right. So, let's see here. Starting right off the bat, the former apology, because people have been complaining and they haven't been saying much about it. So, here they go. Casters and Gideon, real important. Casters, we're doing too much damage with our auto attacks. Like, they're casters, not auto attackers, right? So they got nerfed heavily. Probably too much. Yes, Droth, we are getting jiggy with it. So probably a bit too much of a nerf, so they're giving more damage to them every level, bumping it up from 3 to 1, from 1 to 3, which gives you 28 overall more damage. It's a little bit of a... I don't really call it a fix. It helps a little bit. It's not that great. But basically, Gideon specifically was like his kit is too powerful innately, especially when they add in more of the changes where like auto sprint is no longer in the game. Like that's what they're trying to push for. They want to fully remove auto sprint and things like Gideon's teleport, which his teammates can use, mind you, is already incredibly powerful. He does cast damage on par with all the other casters. He has sick wave clear on par with Iggy. Like, I wouldn't put Gadget quite at the level of them. Still pretty decent. Howitzer's wave clear, not as good. But overall, he's basically like the most powerful caster in the game. So they went ahead and nerfed his ultimate because while it was a really big nerf, the design team, you know, they want to promote things like counterplay. When you're stuck in a Gideon ulti, there's nothing you can do about it. If that Gideon is a good player and he's paying attention to the stuns in the game, and he finds a moment where he can just go in and no one has a stun for him, that's a good play on the Gideon's part. But if you're just going in willy-nilly and the enemy team has like 3 stuns, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you shouldn't necessarily be rewarded just like being able to freely go in like that. So that got nerfed. They like where his win rate is now. It's below 50%. Like, I'm sorry, Gideon mains, but I feel like it was kind of necessary. They have good design philosophy behind it. No matter what, like, you have to admit it's good design philosophy to always have like counterplay and whatnot in mind. So moving on from that though, Rangers got fucking crushed. Or well, they're getting crushed with these balance patches. Kind of necessary. Let's be real. It was kind of necessary. The big one is lifesteal. It's almost a 50% decrease. So, honestly, crit's probably going to come back into the picture. To get like... So right now, people are getting like 40 to 48% lifesteal. For only 10 to 12 points, you know? That's not much of your deck. That's a sixth of your deck. And to get that after the patch, you need like 16 card points, which is a fourth of your deck. That's quite a bit, especially since they're also nerfing damage and attack speed by like 16%. It's probably like 15, whatever. So either crit is going to have another resurgence, or people are just going to suck it up, get like 25% life steal, and try and dump even more into damage and attack speed. It's probably more realistic that they just try and dump more into damage and attack speed instead of going crit, but you may see crit come back. As for Twin Blast, they recognize that he is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful ranger because of his mobility and his free attack speed. His win rate in non-mirror matches. Non-mirror matches, which is important because once they go ranked, have like ranked drafts, stuff like that, they have enough heroes to do that. You don't want mirror matches in those games. Like, it's not healthy for competitive, it's not healthy for casual. It's just not good. So, it's good that they're looking at non-mirror matches specifically. 63% win rate, pretty significant. So, I don't believe they know necessarily what they're gonna do. They've stayed right here. They may look to kit rework him. I don't know. I wish they wouldn't have to. I really wish they wouldn't have to. So we'll see if they can find a way to tune him some other way. So fighters, they're getting a nerf too because of the whole damage, attack speed, and shenanigans. But it's mostly to Rampage right here. His health regen, which a lot of people have been complaining about, mind you. It's getting nerfed by 50 for every rank, which in my opinion makes his level 5 ulti god awful. Like, horribly awful. Because at any point in the game, well, not any point, like when he only has the rank 1 of his ulti, that's 50 health regen. Any of the rangers can out DPS that. Unless he immediately goes into armor right off the bat. I've personally been doing stuff like that, where you just go fizz armor, energy armor, as like your second and third item. But like, that's a huge hit to his first rank. The second and third rank of his ulti are still pretty alright, but you're gonna notice that you're not sitting at full HP anymore. You're gonna get chipped down. You won't be able to tower dive like at all. You'll be able to tower dive very briefly. You're just gonna ulti to like throw a quick stun, walk in, punch people, and then have to leap out, most likely. So people got what they wanted. Rampage got nerfed. The duration even got decreased from 15 to 12 seconds. He didn't get gutted. He didn't get gutted, but that was probably a necessary nerf. So good on them for that. As far as now moving on, they label this bad actors, but their new AFK function, it hits people who like disconnect too, most likely, because you're going to disconnect, you're not going to be able to get in right away, right? So it'll flag you as AFK. Hopefully they find a way to get around that, but it's funny to see this data since they just allowed PS Plus PlayStation users to play the game with 26,000 one-day bans and 1,000 three-day bans. It's hard to say if those were warranted or not. It's probably just Russians, you know. I'm kidding. It's probably not just Russians. But that's on a global scale, I believe. I don't know all the regions that play Paragon, but I know like South America, North America, Europe, like maybe Asia. Well, I mean, like definitely Russia, but I'm not sure if like China, Japan, and stuff are into that. I think I see a couple Asian names here and there, so maybe they probably are. Match length. To be honest, I don't really care about match length. Like half the time you see 20-minute surrenders from both sides, like teams you're on, teams you're playing against. So I don't know how accurate this data can be. It's hard to say. Like, they're going to be looking at this for a while. Their goals are to reduce this by another 5 to 7 minutes. So I guess like they want 30-minute games, which is good. They're going to have to do some more tweaking for that though. They're probably going to have to. I think they should increase overall CXP across the board, but I don't know if that makes the game pace a little crazy. Like, I enjoy getting to the 60 card points, just like a lot of other people do, because you feel powerful, right? But you only really see that in like 40, 50-minute games unless they're really, really stompy, right? So, I don't know. 30 minutes is good, but I'd like to see them also change the pacing of the game, not just like how long the match is going to be, if that makes sense. So that's where we are with that. What's the future look like? They obviously have a bunch of things they want to do. They've noted card crafting finally, and they're gonna have more details in the coming weeks. So we're probably not gonna see this for another like a month or two, unfortunately. Very, very unfortunately. Um, I was hoping we'd see this with the August open beta because like that's like a prime moment to push out something like that, you know. Big insurgence of players in the game, and like they've gotten so much criticism for not having the crafting system in. Like you don't want to introduce a whole new wave of new players to the game and them to say the same thing and have to be like, oh, well, you guys are gonna have to wait a couple more weeks or another month or something. You want to be able to deliver that right then. So it's good that they're finally announcing it. I hope they can get it out soon enough. And then they just move on to talking about they have more topics about matchmaking, banners. I guess like banners for your accounts, banners for cosmetics in game. I don't know. It's probably like banners so that when you're in matchmaking, you can see like kind of people's skill ranks, like their experience with the game. And then competitive play, which will probably be a ranked mode, you know, draft ranked, all that fun stuff. So with that being it, I want to thank Steve Superville for doing this. A lot of people have been complaining and complaining and complaining, and he's getting out there right before patch week on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday when they patch. I believe so. So that's that. Overall, it's really good. It shows you a lot of their design philosophy is in the right direction. So you can have faith in them that they're going to keep making Paragon a better and better experience overall. And thank you very much.